So I just want to insert here how I came across and found this low-cost Model Y lease deal. Tesla, a number of weeks ago, announced that they were doing zero down Model Y and Model 3 used Model Y and Model 3 leases. So I started looking and trying to find one for our family, and went to the Tesla page. You can click here on the zip code that you're in, put the radius you want to search for. I went all the way out to 200 miles. I was willing to drive further if that's what it took, but I had to find something within the state of California. So I searched within 200 miles of my house, as well as 200 miles of Southern California, and I would go wherever the best lease deal was. You can search all deliverable, but then you've got to pay anywhere from $500 to $2,500 to get that shipped to you, and that kind of defeats the purpose of getting the affordable, cheap, used Model Y lease. So with that said, I then searched the area, and I have basically refresh this screen every hour all day long, just looking for one to pop up. And when one would pop up, even in another area, I would notice that within an hour it was sold. I mean, you had to act quick if you saw one. These, as you can see, is a lot of what we would see here in the Bay Area. McClellan Park is up near Sacramento. I kept looking and looking, trying to find something here in the Bay, and it was really hard. So a lot of these you can see $361 a month lease deals, and again, zero down, but we'll talk more about that in a second. It's not exactly zero down, really. But here you can see these are not the great deals. These are not the ones that I was looking for. And then I would scroll down and I would see them in other areas, but they were often in places like here. Here you can see something closer, $263 a month. And this is out in Elk Grove Village. That's Illinois. Here's Aurora, Illinois. This one comes with 3 months of full self-driving, 3 months of supercharging. My idea was I'll fly out there on a Southwest flight. I'll drive it back to California on the free supercharging. But turns out you cannot lease it out of state and bring it back to California. So I had to find a deal in the state of California. But for this example, I'm just going to show you, we're going to use one of these. We'll use the cheapest one here, $263. I end up paying $260 a month is what I'm paying for mine. But let's take a closer look. And this one is similar in some ways. It is 19-inch wheels, 5-seat. I've got the blue paint with the white interior, so I would say that's a bonus for me. The miles here is 67,880. These are typically the higher mile cars when you get them for these low prices. And then my vehicle is 59,000. So you can see that I'm getting, I think, a pretty good deal, paying a little bit less. 10,000 less, not quite 10,000, I guess 8,000 miles less than this. I've got the white interior, which I like, the blue paint that I like. So yeah, I think that's a win. But let's click on this and let's follow along, and you guys can see kind of how this works. So let's flip over to this tab, and here you can see the details. We've got the Model Y, and you've got all the details: pearl white, 19-inch rims, 5-seat, acceleration boost. Mine also has the acceleration boost. So as we scroll, we can look here to lease. We're going to click on the lease deal, and this is where it tells you $263 a month, and down here, zero down for 24 months. So this is where it gets a little tricky, because it's not that they're misleading you, I suppose, but it is not exactly zero down. When we go to edit leasing, you're going to see where this gets a little bit different than we thought. So yeah, it says zero down, 263, but now watch what happens. We are going to include the estimated taxes and fees. The government is going to get their monies, and there is fees to pay. And you can see here already, due at signing, $958. So there's a breakdown of what those are, and you can see that that's not even including the taxes and fees. So let's look here at exactly how this works. I think it's good for everybody to see it. So again, we're going to click here on include estimated taxes and fees. You can see right away this jumps up to $291. Still says zero down, but notice that due at signing now has jumped up to $2,045. So let's click on view breakdown, and this is going to show you the details of what that is. First monthly payment, $291, because now you've got taxes in there. Acquisition fee, $695. I guess that's like a destination charge almost. You can't get out of it. You've got to pay it. So then you scroll down, you've got your registration. This is going to be for the state of Illinois, I suppose. In my case, the state of California might be more. There's a license fee, there's an electronic registration titling fee, and then there's the upfront sales tax. So all of this is going to be dependent on your location. Here, for example, where I am in the Bay Area, my sales tax is over 10%. So that is significant. But here you can see this is why the number is not truly zero down. It's zero down to Tesla, but you still got to pay all these taxes and fees. And I would even argue the acquisition fee is kind of, I don't know about that. I think that should be out of there. But what are you going to do? The deal is what the deal is. So I wanted to show this and be transparent about it. So again, my payment ended up, after I did my signing was about $2,000, just like this. And then my lease payment, though, was down at $260. And then just with what my wife would spend in gas anyway, which is about $200 a month, my net is $60 a month. Of course, though, you've got to factor in there is that $2,000 of taxes and fees and licensing and all that stuff you can't get out of. DMV is going to get their money. State's going to get their money. County's going to get their money. Everybody wants a little piece of this deal. So that being said, though, I do still think it's a great deal. And I wanted to show you how I found it and what I did. I literally searched for 3 weeks to try to find it. So this is where you go, guys. You go to the inventory page, you go to the pre-owned, you can select a Model Y or a Model 3. This is not available in all states, by the way. Illinois, New York, New Jersey, Florida. I saw a ton of deals out there in those areas. It's available in California, just really hard to find. You can see again, there's no $260 deals to be found right now. And again, I searched for 3 weeks. So that's what's in front of you if you want to find the deal. They do have some lease incentives where they're throwing in like $4,500 to help with the pricing. That's why some of these prices are so low. You do get a 1 year warranty, 10,000 miles, or you can also choose 12,000 miles if you drive more. In our case, we don't. And then the battery warranty maintains the same existing warranty. So yeah, it's a 2-year lease. It's a 1 year warranty. So there is that gap there. Whether or not we'll do something with an extended warranty, I don't know, or just risk it for the biscuit, I suppose. But yeah, here's the deal. That is how it was made. I'm going to be doing more videos just about my experience with the Model Y. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this peek inside. If you're watching and this was cool for you, watch Bo Family EV on YouTube and you'll see the whole video. I'm going to make more things like I'm going to do a battery degradation test at some point. I'll do a 70 mile an hour range test. I'll do a 10 to 80 charging test, see how long that takes. And I'm sure there's other things I'm going to do as well. So if you have ideas, let me know. I definitely want to make content for this. I'm sure get some different accessories and things that I'll pop in the Model Y as well. The plan for us as a family is to drive this and enjoy it for 2 years. Let my wife get used to it. You'll see in the video, she's already got some things that just on her first drive, she really appreciated about it. And then in 2 years, when there's the lower cost Model Y will be out, the R2 will be in full production. Ford has their stuff that's going to be coming out in 2027. Lucid is going to have their mid-sized out there in, I think, 2027. So who knows what else is going to pop up. So this is, again, just a short-term 2-year lease, super low cost. When you factor in the fact that we would have paid for gas anyway. And just so you know, I've got solar panels and my solar, it outproduces what I use. So with efficiencies with the Model Y, I'm not going to end up paying any extra solar or electricity bills. I currently don't have an electricity bill, and that's with my Lightning, which is a much bigger battery, much less efficient. So the Model Y will be a piece of cake. So that's the plan. We're going to let my wife check it out. This will be her gateway drug into electric vehicles. I think she's going to love it. And then we'll see if she ends up getting into a future newer Tesla, and or if she goes with one of the other brands, whatever it is. You know, everybody's got their own personal preference. I always say get your butt in the seat, drive it, test drive it. Some people like to sit low, like to sit high. Some people, Apple CarPlay is a deal breaker if they don't have it. Other people, the technology in the Tesla is the way to go. Full self-drive, I mean, that's a unique thing that Tesla offers. So for the first month here, we do get full self-drive that she'll get to experience, but it's hardware 3. So that's the drawback. But Yeah, lots of cool stuff here, I think, to learn from and to experiment with. I am certainly familiar with Tesla, but by no means am I an expert. I have not owned one. I've driven plenty on my channel. I've got Cybertruck videos and time in the refresh Model Y. But the most I've ever had a Tesla is for 3 days. So this will be a totally different thing to truly live with it, to truly understand it, and it's going to be a blast. So, yeah, that's it. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the videos that we create and make. And I am going to log off here, take this download, put it into my video, and edit it, get it onto my YouTube channel for tomorrow. So, yeah, be sure to chime in with your comments. I'd love to hear them. I'd love to get your ideas and your thoughts. I'm super open. Doesn't hurt my feelings. Feedback is good for me. I am a small channel, so I always like to know what people want to see. And yeah, let me know. So yeah, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Happy to answer anything that may come up. If you think I'm crazy, if you think I got a horrible deal, if you think it's a mistake buying something that is 5 years old with almost 60,000 miles, fair criticism, right? Like, let me know your thoughts. I think I'm comfortable with it. I think it's worth the risk. I think it's a great way to try it out for the family and for my wife, and I think it's going to be great. So maybe that will prove me wrong. Maybe it will be the greatest thing I've ever done, but we can find out together. Anyway, that's it for a late night quick live broadcast. For those that don't know, I also do a podcast with a bunch of people. Martin Meek from Martin Rebuilds, Jace, who's a Ford owner. I've got Jesse and Josh out in Tennessee. We've had a ton of guests on the channel. Joe from Tesla Owners Club, San Joaquin Valley. We've had Bearded Tesla. We've had Maki Vlog from Ford. We've had a ton of people. If you haven't seen my channel before, I went and visited Out of Spec out in Denver and did a video with Kyle. I've gone and seen people down at Franklin's Garage. I've met the guys from the EV Geek podcast. I have a ton of stuff on my channel, guys. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. Help me out. And if you know anybody that needs to use a referral link, give them mine as well. Get me some free supercharging, some free FSD time. I'd appreciate that as well. So again, chime in the comments. Give me a view. Give me a comment and a like. Share it. And if you have criticism, give me that too. I'll learn from it. So that is it for a late night. We'll talk to you later. Thanks, everybody.